For today's video, we will be sharing some of our favorite tips based on our own experience when we visited Las Vegas for the first time. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos on the do's and don'ts when visiting Las Vegas, so while you have probably heard of these tips multiple times before, there's actually a reason why they always get mentioned. Most, if not all of it, are solvable though, but it would still be nice not to have to go through the hassles. First one on the list is booking your flight direct with the airline. I have a habit of booking flight through a third-party company because in my head it saves me some money. And sometimes it does if you compare pricing on the airline's website and a third party's website. The problem you're gonna run into is if and when there's flight cancellations. This time we booked our round-trip flight directly with the airline. It was with a low-cost airline, so I thought it won't be that bad. So the flight was booked and confirmed, but a week later, the return flight was canceled. It's much easier to contact the airline about these things than having to go through a third party's customer service. The airline staff was helpful, prompt in responding to emails, offered us alternative flights, but since they all won't work with our schedule, they ended up refunding our money and we were able to book another flight. It's just a faster and easier process. The next one is kind of similar to the first, and this time I'd recommend booking directly with the hotel or the resort that you want to stay at. Same thing, I had this habit of booking through a third-party company, but for Vegas, there are many reasons why you should book direct. They have the lowest price guarantee, so there's no reason not to do it. I initially booked our hotel through a third-party company, and then I learned about the rewards program and the guarantee offered by the hotels in Las Vegas, so I canceled my third-party booking and booked with the hotel. This instantly saved me $200. Then I signed up for the rewards card, which I really recommend doing. You get points for every dollar that you spend on your hotel room, dining, and shopping, which will give you more perks and discounts for future stays, including comp rooms. Since this is our first time in Vegas, I wanted to make sure we're getting a good view from our room, so I booked the Strip View room. But after reading the description, we found out that it was view of the north part of the Strip. It was a fast and easy process to modify the room just by using the hotel's app. Then something came up and then we can't make it on those days anymore. I called the hotel and they were able to help me right away. If I booked through a third party, I would have had to deal with the customer service staff. Oh, and the date change saved me another $300 as well. The third one on the list, and I can't stress this enough, is to wear comfortable footwear. This is always part of Vegas tips and tricks, blogs and videos, so I thought, yeah, no problem, I got this, or so I thought. I wore this pair of sneakers, thinking they're flat and cushioned, so they should be good. And they are comfortable, maybe for a little bit of walking, but doing the Vegas kind of walking, these are not the best choice. They have a bit of a weight to them, so they're too heavy to use for that kind of walking. We're not even done with day one in Vegas, and I was in pain already. We went to the nearest CVS and got the lightest pair of flip-flops that they had. Needless to say, that my leg muscles were sore for the whole duration of our trip. Fourth is comparing rideshare versus taxi. The Strip is walkable and you can get from one attraction to another without needing a car. But from the airport to your hotel or from the Strip to Fremont and other off-Strip destinations, you will need either rideshare or taxi if you didn't rent or bring your own car. Taxis charge a flat rate from the airport to different hotel zones. When we arrived, taxi was cheaper than calling an Uber. Plus, the taxis are already there waiting for you while you will have to wait for your ride to arrive if you use rideshare. Going to Fremont and other spots, Uber is usually a better choice because you can see the rates right away even before you get in the car. Number 5 on the list is to bring cash if you can. Use your card for bigger expenses like if you're going to a fancy restaurant, shopping, or to buy some show tickets. I got some US dollars by going to a bank here in Canada, so I'm glad I did. We paid cash for the taxi ride, and in Vegas, tipping is a big thing. Leave your luggage to the bell desk, you tip the staff that store your luggage, and then you tip the staff that retrieve them after. It's always nice to have some cash handy. And if you're planning to walk around the Strip and explore hotels and attractions, it's better to pay cash for cold drinks and some snacks. Sixth on the list is to set your budget. I mean, it's Vegas. You're there to spend money, but it's very easy to spend more than you're comfortable with or willing to spend once you started to enjoy what Vegas has to offer. From drinks to gambling to fancy meals and even shopping, you'll find all these high-end designer stores in Vegas, and these things will definitely test your self-control. This was kind of pretty easy for me as I don't drink and I'm not really a gambler. I didn't plan to go shopping either, and I made sure there's no more extra space in my luggage so I won't get tempted. So it's just basic expenses for me like food, transportation, and attractions. I booked a Grand Canyon bus tour and that was paid for in advance, so it doesn't have to be included in the budget. I created a daily budget for both cash that I'm willing to put on my card and put the cash in separate envelopes, one for each day, and it definitely worked for me. Seventh is to not forget to book or make reservations. If there's an activity or restaurant or shows, that is definitely a must on your first visit to Las Vegas. Vegas is home to really cool restaurants, shows, and activities, and it is a very busy and popular tourist spot, so you want to make sure you book early in order to secure a seat or a table. I booked a table at Hell's Kitchen for 3 months in advance, and I'm glad I did because they are fully booked already a couple weeks after that. Same goes for the buffets and shows and even tours. Eighth on the list is to plan a basic itinerary. Just list a few things that you definitely must see or must do while you're there. Las Vegas has lots of attractions and it's very easy to spend a lot more time at one place than you plan. So particularly if it's your first time visiting, chances are you'd want to explore more and enjoy the spots you're able to visit. And you will have to wait for like long lines and wait for the perfect time to take photos. By having a list of absolute must-sees, you can be sure you'll be able to hit what you want to see the most. If you have extra time to do and see more, that's a good bonus. It will also save yourself from disappointment feeling like you weren't able to do enough because there's just a few checks on your long list of plans. Number 9 is prepare yourself for a lot of walking, and I mean a lot. If you look at a map, the hotels and casinos look like they're just side by side and very close to each other. While it's doable to walk the whole length of the strip, keep in mind that the distance from one resort to another is not as short as you think. To give you an idea, you can check out my walking tour videos to let people get a better idea on how much walking is needed from one property to another. I will put those links below in the description. This is another reason why you shouldn't overplan your trip because walking will take a lot of your time. And again, wear comfortable shoes. The 10th tip is to make sure to check what the weather will be like at the time of your visit. Bring your sunglasses, moisturizer, lip balm, and a water bottle or any kind of drink to keep you hydrated, especially if you're visiting from March to October. We were there early April and we had to constantly stop to get some cold drinks while walking and exploring the strip. 11th on the list is considering getting some groceries to save you some money. Depending on your hotel, a lot of rooms will come with a fully stocked mini fridge. These have weight sensors and you will get charged the minute you lift one of them. And of course, just like everything else being sold in hotels, these items will have ridiculous high price tags. Vegas has lots of stores where you can get your basic needs, just like a pack of bottled water, maybe coffee, and some snacks. This will definitely help you save some money. Last one is not to forget bringing your power bank and charging cables. Las Vegas has some of the nicest hotels and properties that you will want to take lots of photos and videos. We like that the hotels and casinos have their own themes and we took a lot of photos and videos to preserve the experience. It's very easy to run out of battery whether you're just using your phone or an actual camera.